How we doing, Facebook? Happy Wednesday. Hope you guys are having a good week so far. Let me see if I can get some people here. We're trucking along on this Wednesday. I hope you guys are having a good day. It's been a busy day. Every day is a busy day. So I wanted to talk to you guys about this because I think it's important for people to realize just how important life insurance is and why, at least for me, life insurance was the very first thing that I did. Before I started getting into other assets, the only asset that I'm missing is real estate. Aside from our home, which is the only real estate that I own, the real estate is the one asset that I haven't gotten into as far as rental properties or just flipping homes. That I'm not into that market yet. My goal is to get into that market in 2022. But I will tell you that the very first asset that I bought was my universal life insurance policy. And now, hindsight 2020, now that I understand things so much better, I'm still hands down 100% behind the fact that the very first asset that I bought was my universal life insurance policy. And here's why I think this is important. I think this is important because when I started this journey, the financial journey, I I didn't have a whole lot of money. And I mean, I still don't have a whole lot of money in comparison to other people, right? Millionaires and billionaires. I'm not balling like that. But I will tell you that I'm definitely in a much better financial place today than I was 5 years ago. But the reason why life insurance, I still firmly believe, was a rock solid purchase for me was for several reasons. Number one, it immediately increased my net worth in the sense that if something happened to me at that point in time, as I'm building up my wealth, I knew that my family was going to be taken care of. So that was a huge priority for me. Secondly, the life insurance policy that I own has additional benefits so that if I get sick, let's say if I got diagnosed with cancer, if I had a heart attack, if I had a stroke, if I got into a very severe accident, I could actually utilize my life insurance policy without passing away to get a substantial amount of money. So let's say, for example, one day I'm driving to work and heaven forbid I'm in a head-on collision and my life insurance policy, I'm not going to tell you exactly how big it is, but let's say it's for $250,000, 250,000 per se. And I get into a head-on collision, then I'm able to put in a claim on my policy and the company will give me a hefty sum of money, not to exceed the $250,000 of coverage that I have with my policy. Why is that important? Well, first of all, we just don't know what tomorrow will bring. Unfortunately, tomorrow is not promised for anyone. One day we can get up and go to work and not return. That's just the way life is. Life sucks. Life is unfair. So we just don't know exactly what tomorrow has in hold for us. But one thing's for certain, that it's uncertain, right? The only thing that's certain is that there's a lot of uncertainties. So I like the fact that I'm able to utilize it that way because if I didn't have that protection in place, and let's say something happened to me and I couldn't work anymore, the first thing that I would start liquidating would be my assets. So a lot of people think that, okay, if I have savings or I have investments or whatever, and mind you, I have my life insurance policy and I put a substantial amount of money into that every month. But then I also have my stocks and I also have my cryptocurrencies and I also own annuities, which annuities today are really the only financial vehicle where you can get guarantees, the same guarantees that a bank can give you, where you won't have negative returns. Your money is as safe as it is in a bank, but you're still able to make your 5%, your 6%, your 7%. Very conservative financial instrument, but it's my safety net. I know that I don't even have to check on that. That's just there. If I make my 6%, if I make my 5%, it doesn't matter. I know that that money's not going anywhere. You see, so I own multiple assets, but still my life insurance policy is the basis of everything that I do. So when you're looking at your situation, and when you're looking at how you want to structure your finances, definitely life insurance has to be a topic of conversation because it's very important. Now, there's a lot of different types of life insurance policies. For me, the one that works the best is the one that's going to be around forever. The one that I don't have to worry about saying, well, this policy is going to expire in 10 years or in 15 years or in 20 years. I don't have to worry about it. Not only that, it builds up an accumulation for me over time that I'll be able to utilize in the future. So it's like paying for another mortgage. It's paying. I'm building this equity inside of my life insurance policy that I'm going to be able to utilize in the future. So that's why that one financial instrument for me is super important, and that was the basis of everything else that I did. Now, as I started to position myself in a situation where I was making more money, then not only did I put more money into my life insurance policy, but then I started to diversify into other things. But but the life insurance policy is still, it's still the basis of everything that I do, because I know that that's my safety net, and then that's one of my conservative plays. See, so when you're trying to determine what's going to work for you long term, first and foremost, clients ask me this all the time. They always say, "Well, how much money should I save?" And so my response to that is, you save as much money as you possibly can. That's one of those questions, it's like asking how many push-ups should I do? How many sit-ups should I do? How many candy bars should I substitute for an apple or an orange? Well, as many as you can, because the more you do, the better your situation is going to be. So the advice that I have for you guys is, obviously diversification is key for sure, but you need to have your protections in place. When I set up my life insurance policy, and then later on health insurance, because health insurance can get very pricey as well, it's important for me to have those protections in place, because it's very difficult to compete against an illness or an accident. It's very, very difficult to compete against that. Doesn't matter how much money you have in savings. If something like that happens, it'll wipe out your savings fast. So you have to have protections in place to be able to do all the things that you want to do, because unfortunately, life throws us curveballs and there's a lot of uncertainties. And because there are a lot of uncertainties, you need to have those instruments in place. So, for what it's worth, best decision of my life. I was able to do it young enough to where it's a great financial instrument for me, but at the same time, it offers me so many protections, because I just don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So keep that in mind. And as usual, the purpose of my videos are not intended for you to do business with me or with us or with our organization or our entity. The purpose of my videos is just to educate, to give you information, to give you clarity and peace of mind. And you guys are always welcome to send me a message. You're always welcome to ask me whatever questions come to mind. Like I said, I'm pretty well diversified amongst a lot of different financial instruments, but that life insurance policy, man, that's the basis of everything that I do. Why? Because that's my protection. That immediately increased my net worth, because I knew that if something happened to me, I had that. That was there. And it's accumulating the money. It's accumulating the money over time. And I know that I'm going to be able to utilize in the future. If nothing happens to me, I'm going to have a nice chunk of change there that I'm going to be able to utilize for my later years. But my protection, and whatever happens to me, or God willing doesn't happen to me between now and the time that I hit my later years, my protection is there. And I need my protection to be there, because I have a wife and I have kids, and we just don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So I hope this information is helpful to you guys. Let me know if you have any questions in regards to anything having to do with finances, having to do with debt, with credit. I mean, we're here to just try to help you better the quality of your finances and overall the quality of your life. Thank you so much, guys. You have a good day.